Hi Ray,
Good day, Paul. How are you?
I'm very well, my friend, very well indeed. How about yourself?
Doing great, doing great.
Good, good. Pleased to hear it. I'm feeling inspired this week. I thought I've been doing a lot of thinking this week about sort of the campaign when this particular adventure ends, and yeah, I think I know where we're going to go, and I think you're all going to like it, but I'm not going to tell you until it happens.
Sounds like fun. Yeah, you sounded a little excited about it when you texted about it in the Discord. I was like, oh, he's up to something.
Yeah, it kind of a storyline fell into my brain a few days ago, and I thought that's going to work. That is going to work. So yeah, still got I reckon maybe two more sessions with Frostbite, two maybe three, but yeah, plans are afoot.
Sounds wonderful. I'm looking forward to it.
Is the music playing okay at your end? Yeah.
So far, so good. It took me a bit. Actually, I started messing it. Oh, it just got really loud. I started messing with Sirenscape about 1 o'clock, and after downloading three of the wrong ones, I finally got the right one.
Yeah, they don't like to make it easy in terms of the number of apps and options that there are, but I think they're getting feedback all the time and kind of working on it from there. So it's a good tool. It's just normally, like I say, I tried sort of setting up a bot and all sorts to do it through Discord, but the sound was just very patchy coming through. Partly because my internet connection is so poor, I think. So I'm using my phone and my tablet and my laptop to try and spread the strain on my bandwidth. I've got my phone covering half the bandwidth, and then my laptop using the actual internet in the apartment. So I think it should be good. And we now also have Morph and Iris. Hello, hello,
Hey, hello,
hello.
hello.
Oh, my lovelies.
How are we?
Pretty solid.
Yeah, doing great.
Awesome. Any news? Anything exciting happening in your world?
Yeah, situation normal, trying not to burn anything down, you know?
Some days that's all that you can hope for.
Indeed.
That's
You
true.
some as if you go to bed with the same number of matches in the box as when you woke up that morning, it's a good day.
That's my favorite motivational quote of the week. Thanks, Paul.
That's fine. And if you want to put it on a T-shirt or a mug, I only charge 3% royalties. Okay,
That's pretty
so I think
Right.
that's a pretty fair deal.
good. Very fair. 3% is low. You should charge more.
Well, for anyone else, I would, but seeing as it's among friends, I'll only charge 3%.
Thanks, man.
Fucking
Yeah, the group that shares is the group that cares, or
Love it.
some other such bullshit. Yeah. So, that music kicked in just at the right time. So,
Yes, said, let's do this.
now, actually, before we start, Ray, did you say you wanted to update Hardstadt spells?
I was thinking about it at work Friday, and I was going through my spells because I knew we had a thing coming up this weekend, and I was like, man, I got a lot of concentration spells. I can't use all these at the same time. So I sat there for about 2 hours on the clock, looking through, trying to find the best combination, writing them down, and it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be great. Then you texted back, it's like, oh, we could do it whenever, and I left work and left my list at the shop. So we're just gonna play it as I usually do for this one, and maybe the next time I'll get around to switching some of them out because we really haven't ran into the last two encounters we had were not all that troublesome. So hopefully we'll get through today, unless you have some big surprises for us.
Well, perhaps we shall see. I just love the fact that Ray's sitting there like, boss makes a dollar, I make a dime. That's why I work out D&D spells on company time.
I know those feels. I know those feels.
Paul,
Unfortunately, they go on.
it's just minor. It's I can see your whole bedroom. Do you have this camera set up for other purposes as well?
Would you like to ask a different question?
Could you phrase that differently?
How's your weekend going for you?
I mean, yeah, I mean, we'll knock off here about 10 p.m. at my time, and the night is still young. Hey, listen, Ray, if you're going to ask a question, you're going to get an answer, my friend.
It's quite okay. It was just a different view, and I was like, wow, I can see. That's his whole bedroom. Okay.
Yeah, no, I adjusted this because with my new job, I'm going to be working pretty much exclusively from home. And the way that it was set up previously, I was facing away from the window, so I had like no natural light hitting me at all during the day. So we kind of sort of adjusted it so the window is now just ahead of me to my right. So it's going to be much better if I'm sat here all day. But yeah, it does also have the advantage of
Good
let's
natural light.
leave it at that. Yeah, good natural light. Yeah. The only problem is that this is a ground floor apartment. So if you have the blinds open, people can walk past. There's sort of like a public footpath directly outside the building because this was an old office block. So yeah, there's anytime Jodie and I want special cuddles, we have to make sure the blinds are closed.
Special cuddles.
Is that not what you call them in America?
We do now.
I've started a trend. I'm going to get a text from Jodie in a minute saying, "Paul, please stop overly sharing. Love you."
How is Jody?
She's very good. She has also got a new job, so she will be. She has just sent me a message saying, "Are you discussing our sex life?" Laughing emoji, middle finger emoji.
Oh my god, I love Jody.
Yeah, the walls here aren't particularly thick. She's got a new job working for a housing company nearby, so it's better money and less stress dealing with customers. So she starts that in a couple of weeks. Bear with me one second, folks. Jodie, do you want me to read that next text out? Yeah, okay. So she also just texted me, "At least the restraints aren't on show."
I remember that conversation.
Yeah, okay.
Jody's my favorite.
Jodie's my favorite as well, believe me. So
we're
yeah,
starting to use the Book of Erotic Darkness expansion, right?
Yes, yes. Roll for foreplay. Oh man, I should have gone with the D4 play joke, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you're
Oh,
good.
damn,
Oh
yeah.
man,
missed
it was
on
just
that one.
there. It was just waiting to be. Oh man, I'm slipping in my old age. So Ray, if you kind of even have an inkling of what you wanted those spells to change to, we can take the time if you want. It's not a problem, my friend.
No, I'm good. I will definitely have it for the next session, and we'll just go from there.
Cool. No, from memory, clerics can change the spells that they prepare each night. So as long as it's kind of, essentially at some point, if a long rest is being taken, that's the point at which you can update your
Sounds good.
spells. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't too
Cool.
sure if it needed to be role played, like if we had to be in town and I had to have a book in front of me or anything like that. So that's what the original question was. I'm pretty sure I could have looked it up, but
Yeah.
I was already messing around on the clock. So
No, that's fine. So some groups probably do roleplay it, but to be honest, there's only so many times you'd really be able to roleplay it before it got very samey anyway. You sit on the ground cross-legged, concentrating in prayer with your deity, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, no, that's fine. So anytime we're doing sort of a long rest if you need to change any spells, that's the time to do it, and I trust you to do it, however it need to be. That's fine. All I would ask is if you do change them, let me know, only because I've got sort of like oh, that's dramatic. Only because I've been sort of stocking up on like spell cards and stuff for each of you, just so I can kind of try and get my head round which spells are which. So if you can just give me a nod so I can make sure I update which cards I have for Hardstadt, that would be awesome.
Can do. I can even send you a list before I get them changed out in case you see anything that I don't see as to reasons I won't be able to use said spells.
Okay, I mean, yeah, whatever works. We're you should all know by now I'm possibly the world's most laid back DM, so yeah, whatever works, that's fine. We'll find a way through it. No worries. So is everyone ready to begin?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. So, just as a quick recap, the party, I should say, had headed east to complete some of these, which I shall call the side quests of no real consequence. But they are there essentially in the starter set, obviously just to give people a feel for different types of adventure. In terms of this storyline, yeah, there's a little bit of, you'd done a deal with the Harpers to get the information from Agatha the Banshee, but at the end of the day, there's no real consequences or sorry to piss on your fireworks, but yeah, there's no real consequences from either of those encounters that were had last time.
Because they didn't let me touch anything.
Because they didn't let you. That's right. Yeah. I mean, who knows what would have happened if you had decided to try and move things around in Agatha's lair. I mean, I guess we will never know. That is the joy and beauty of D&D.
What if she was just waiting for someone to touch her stuff so that she knew that someone was brave enough to just treat her as a friend, and then I could have adopted a banshee too?
Yeah, let's not. No.
Is that not... Hang on. Have you not just kind of reskinned the plot of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
I don't think that they were friends.
Agatha just turns up in a sort of purple silk top hat and, and a cane. Lots of little orange droops start coming out the woodwork and start singing. I'm not going to try and sing an Oompa Loompa song in the voice of Droop. I don't think even my throat can take that. So you managed to get the information that was required from Agatha the Banshee with regards to the spellbook, which information you will be able to now impart to Sister Gariel on your return to the village of Phandalin. And you also encountered the Red Wizard of Thay at the Old Owl Well.
Wizard.
Who was essentially very circumspect about his reasons for being there. And yeah, that was kind of it was an encounter which happened. And that's probably about as much as needs to be said about that.
To be fair, we really got to give Droop credit for that one.
Well, yes. Oh God, yes. Oh, you've just reminded me. Yeah, Droop, the MVP of last session.
Right, the MVP.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of you guys can just go home now. You can go back to the farms or whatever. Droop's just gonna Droop will finish this off for you guys. That's fine.
I didn't even show up to this one.
You just
This is the beach Droop episode. We just sent Droop to go do the hard stuff, and we're all going to the beach.
Yep.
Is this like the episode where they just want to pay one member of the cast, so they just do like a flashback, and it's just they're going to have Droop in kind of a wig that makes him look a bit younger, and maybe slightly digitally de-aged his face, and this is the younger days of Droop, how the boy became the man.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
are we talking about? I haven't even had wine tonight. So, having defeated the Red Wizard, you decided at that point. Now, remind me, did you decide to camp up there, or did you go back to the ruins of Conybrook?
I believe we had just kind of looted up his camp.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, we started burying all the zombies.
Yes, that is correct. Because I was.
So I don't recall us actually going anywhere. So we might still be here.
I'm still swinging my
Okay.
hammer.
I had. Listen, what you get up to in your own time is entirely up to you. I had in my head that you guys had kind of struck camp for the evening, but that's fine. So
yeah, that's totally fine.
Cool. So yeah, we will say that all the zombies in Old Owlwell are now. Won't let me mark them all as dead at once. So let's just say they are now buried somewhere under the ground.
I think we camped. Didn't we? We stayed there because you needed to attune to the ring.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh yes. Who has the ring of protection? Is it Harrow?
That's me.
Yay! So yes, Harrow took some time to attune to the ring of protection. For the purposes of imagination, which finger are you wearing it on?
I'm gonna wear it on my ring finger on my right hand.
Ring finger on right hand, fantastic. I mean, it has no bearing on the story whatsoever, but it's just nice to be in the picture, isn't it?
Yeah, nice world building.
Yeah, exactly. The really important details. So, that's fine. So, let's say that camp was set at Old Owlwell. Harrow takes some time, concentrates on the ring protection, and after about an hour is fairly confident that he understands how it works. And he now has a +1 to your AC.
I thought for sure it was +3.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No.
Yeah. It's a +17 to your AC, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect. It finally puts me at an AC of 18.
Let's see. Ring of protection. Yeah, +1 to AC and to saving throws as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Took me a minute to figure out how to properly code that, but I did it.
So you camp, set camp overnight. Does anyone want to discuss anything? Does anyone have anything that they want to bring up with the group, or is it simply a restorative night's sleep?
I don't think we have any. At least I don't have anything particularly pressing. Just us being like, so now I guess we're going after the orcs.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, we'll probably just go over what other quests we have left, and I don't know, maybe pick a harder one.
Hey, that could have been a hard fight. It just so happened that
it was just because of your little goblin friend. Yeah. Word of advice, Ray: never say to the DM, "Can you please give us a harder quest?" I mean, it just, I mean, I know you're relatively new to D&D, but come on, man, don't tempt
me. I'd like to point out that Ray is on his second character.
Oh yeah, you should listen to me.
And we can soon make it a third character if needs be. So, Hardstat, during the night,
I'm never going to see above level 4.
I'm going to start knocking levels off of you shortly. So, the following day, you have a restful night's sleep. So everyone has a long rest and regains all their spell slots, any special features, and so on and so forth. So you are. Oh, this is a wrong bloody map. Never mind. So, the Old LOL is here, and you determined that the following day you're going to try and see what was happening with these orcs, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, are you heading back to the tribal trail, I assume?
Is
Or
that where we're?
do you want to try another way?
I don't recall the information about the orcs.
Okay, so brief flashback to Van Dillen. And the orcs, you were told about the orcs by Townmaster Harbin Wester. And essentially, there were orcs. So obviously, sort of from where you all came onto the tribal trail from the high road in the first instance, that side of the tribal trail was essentially being beset by goblins. Okay? Further along the tribal trail, more in the direction where you are at the moment, there have been numerous reports of orcs in the area. Not as many merchants and travellers head along this side of the tribal trail, mainly because it's Conyberry itself is abandoned, and next sort of village out from that side would be somewhere along the lines of, let's have a look from there. Yeah, next village would be Tribor, which is probably a good 3 more days journey along the trail. So this side is quieter, but there have been reports of orcs along here causing trouble. And Harbin Wester had asked that if you were, there was a general sign up in front of the Townmaster's Hall, but it was one that caught your attention that help was wanted to try and clear the orc problem. No one's really sure why the orcs have decided to set up along this part of the trail, but it seems that they have. So they are here. Harbin Wester doesn't particularly want them here, and he's looking to pay someone to deal with them on his behalf, on behalf of the villagers. So,
and correct me if I'm wrong. So we don't really know where the orcs are, just kind of where they'd been a bit of a nuisance.
Gesundheit. So you know that they have been generally on the trail itself, that they've been causing a nuisance. There have probably been some outliers, and there may have been the occasional merchant who wandered off the trail who encountered an orc, but generally, from the reports that you understand from Harbin, it seems to be that they're picking the trail as their sort of target of choice.
Well, if we're going to deal with these orcs, I suppose the best thing to do is just start heading back towards Phandalin and see what happens.
I think that's the best course of action.
I agree.
Okay, so at this point it's probably about 9 in the morning. You clear away the camp from the evening, roll up your bed mats, and start making your way along the trail. Now it gets probably about 2 or 3 hours pass. Who's leading the group at this point? Who's taking
I am.
the point? Okay, so Serenity, if you could please roll for me a perception check. Okay, so yeah, you get probably about here. Maybe about, let's say about here. And you notice tracks leading off to the southeast trail.
Like orc-sized tracks.
Roll a survival check for me. They're pretty big. You're pretty confident that these weren't made by, anything sort of human-sized, or humanoids in that respect. They're probably made by something pretty large, and yeah, safe to say, probably fairly orc-like.
So she'll point him out to the other three and be like, these look like our guys.
Huh. Well, that's handy. Well, I can probably track them if you want to keep my back covered.
I could do that.
Yep,
Okay,
we got
so-
you.
Okay, so Harrow, if you could please roll for me a survival check.
Nice.
Okay, so for the next 2 hours, we shall say, you follow the tracks successfully, and we will say that you end up about here. Okay. Harrow, roll another survival check for me, please. Okay. You still find some tracks. The light is starting to fade a little bit, and you're not really as familiar with this terrain. So at this point, you probably spend the next 2 hours and end up here. But you make a sort of circular route, so you kind of hit about here and then start veering off to the southwest. Yep. Another survival check for me, please. Okay. You realised in the last couple of hours where you were going wrong, and you managed to kind of pick the trail back up. And at the end of the next few hours, you find yourselves at the sort of this hill. You kind of get here, and the terrain is becoming more and more hilly. Okay, and it's essentially you're on the lower slopes of the hill, and the faint smell of smoke at this point hangs on the air as you ascend a rugged ridge on these lower slopes of the hill. Up at the bottom of a ravine, hunkered down by a boulder 20 yards outside the cave, keeping watch, is a single orc.
All right, huddle up, huddle up.
I can try talking to him.
Before we go doing anything, is there anything we need to do to get ready if things go sideways?
Does everybody have aid?
I don't believe so. I think we got
Yeah,
up
you're
and
on a
started
fresh day,
traveling.
so you would need to. So yeah, it would need to be recast if to have to grant it.
Okay, we will play. I'll cast aid on the usual 3.
All right.
I had a sound effect for this.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that was quite anticlimactic. Sorry, guys. But yeah, you cast aid on your fellow 3 compatriots, and their hit point maximums and current hit points all increase by 5 for the next 8 hours.
Such a great spell.
It really is. It really, really is. Okay,
And
so hard status cast aid.
And we all have a healing potion on us as well.
Yep.
and I have a spell that's listed as a bonus action. Does that mean we have to be in combat before I could use it?
It depends. What spell was it?
It is Sanctuary.
Sanctuary. Let's look.
It's in the chat. I was going to play it on Droop.
Till the spell ends. Target's rewarded creature with attack.
Oh, it's only a minute.
It's only a minute, so yeah, you probably want to hold on to that.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, you can cast it. You can cast it now if you so desire, but it may be a waste of a spell slot.
If this guy sees us all out here buffing each other, he's going to be like, "Oh, they came." Okay. And
Okay.
I have a black square again. I'm not sure if we're supposed to be seeing something.
That is intentional. That's the
Okay.
next map, which I've decided in the next adventure, I'm going to make proper use of dynamic lighting in 20. But for now, I'm just being lazy and just putting a fog over everything and then revealing areas bit by bit. I think that I kind of feel like Lost Mine has been as much my sort of learning curve for DMing and note taking and using the systems and stuff. So once this adventure's finished, I feel like I should be more of a fully fledged DM, and I'll kind of start making more use of the features that are available. But for now, yeah, it's just my lazy way of hiding.
Hey, we all got to start somewhere.
Now, I would say actually, this far up into the hills, there's probably birds. So let's turn off those particular aspects of the sound.
All right, so Serenity, do you actually want to go talk to this orc? They're not exactly the most reasonable folk.
Well, neither are we.
You can't bring up the hobgoblin's feet in the fire. That's not fair.
I didn't even name specifics, but if you're gonna bring it up,
Hey, wait a minute, was I a cleric then? I'll be like, excuse me, do what now?
Sorry, it's something we had to do.
Had to do, yeah.
A child's life was at risk.
A hobgoblin's feet were at risk.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have been involved in stealing a child.
Touché. Okay, so as you're kind of watching from afar, the orc, like I say, he's kind of hunched down by a boulder, keeping watch, and he stands up, grunts, has a bit of a scratch, armpits, nether regions, back, nether regions, sniffs his fingers, hunches back down, still keeping watch.
You know, if we just drive them out, they're going to go somewhere else and hurt people.
yeah, that's why we talk to them. We can probably convince them to join the wedding business.
Yeah, I don't think we have a balloon modeler yet, so
Oh,
just
okay. Go talk to him. We'll hold the line, I guess.
okay. So Serenity, are you just walking straight up to him? Are you trying to tell me how you're doing this? Just
Take
so I
Droop
can,
with you.
No, Droop has to stay.
just so I can kind of build a picture. In what way are you approaching him? In which manner are you approaching the Zork?
So she's gonna approach confidently, without a weapon drawn, with a hand raised in greeting, and with Droop following her because orcs love goblin companions.
Okay.
And she's just gonna be like, "Hello."
Hard.
So you get about 15 feet away from the orc. Okay. Oh, sorry, I think you cut out this. Serenity, were you saying something?
No.
No? Okay, sorry, I thought you were saying something. So yeah, you get about 15 feet out from the orc, and he sees you and Droop approaching. And the look on his face, you don't even need an insight check. The look on his face as he watches you to approach is sort of like, in his head, he's obviously thinking, what the fuck? Because there aren't many people, adventurers or otherwise, who would just balls to the wall walk up to an orc clearly guarding a dark cave. Now, as you continue to approach, he stands up, stares at you, turns around, and starts to walk into the cave.
Hardstat's gonna lean over to Harrow real quick and ask, "Does this usually work for y'all?"
No. Well, yes, no. No, it generally doesn't. Usually we have to beat them into submission first and then they talk to us, but I'm always willing to give her a shot.
So she'll call out to the orc. She'll be like, "Hey, wait a minute! I brought food and ale. If you want to join us around the campfire."
At the word ale, he stops, looks over his shoulder, looks back towards the cave. Roll a persuasion check for me, please. He turns away and continues to walk into the cave. I just realised he's on there. I seem to have lost this. He seems to be on a layer too.
The good thing, Hardstat, is that we don't really rely on the element of surprise. We're more of a shock and awe crew.
That's okay.
He moves further into the.
I drank all the ale anyway.
Ah, good. I'd hate to be liars and killers.
At this stage, he's still walking. What would you like to
So Shredded is gonna be like, "Wait, are you afraid I'll drink you under the table?"
Roll an intimidation check for me. Hang on.
At least I'm consistent.
Valiant effort, sister. Valiant effort.
Puny tiefling. Drink me under table. And he turns and continues chuckling to himself as he walks further into the cave.
Oh no! What else do
At
trolls
this
like?
At this point, where exactly are you? Are you still at the entrance to the cave, Serenity?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, you can. I mean, I know your dark vision is only 60 feet, yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah, you probably wouldn't see all the way to the back of the cave. 12 square. 6. Yeah, no, you probably see to about. Yeah, so you know where you're seeing to there. So, Orc has vanished. If you listen carefully, you can still hear him chuckling as he's obviously making his way through the cave. Oh, tiefling better drinker than me. Oh, never.
Kind of slump down behind cover and just wait.
Okay.
I'm just watching this whole thing go down. I'm like, whoa.
So I know Serenity and Droop approached the cave mouth. Have Hardstadt and Harrow held back, or are you also heading down towards the cave mouth?
Yeah, until Serenity feels the need.
I'll walk up to the opposite side, just stay out of sight. But I'll be there in case she needs me. And I'm just watching this whole thing go down. I'm just like,
Okay. So, what happens is 5 minutes pass, 10 minutes pass.
Get up and go stand by Serenity and be like,
Wait. So after a couple minutes, Serenity is going to start drinking her own bottle of ale that she has, and she's going to
Okay.
start drunkenly singing at the cave mouth.
oh, what are we
She's
singing?
not actually drunk, but she's going to be drunkenly singing at the cave mouth.
Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you have any lyrics for us?
I don't.
Oh, well, okay, that's kind of unfair of me to ask that, but that's fine. You, no doubt, you have learnt some rather bawdy songs in your time, in your travels around the Forgotten Realms with Harrow, doing what you did before this adventure began. So yeah, you probably know some fairly meaty lyrics. Roll a performance check for me. With advantage, because I can tell that you know, Serenity really wants to engage this guy. Always when it matters. Okay. So, so you're giving a very lusty, in the non-sexual sense of the word, performance, and you feel very proud of what you've achieved with this song. And then let me just think. And then it seems that the song must have been very well received, because you then
You've got
hear a
fans.
shuffling in the tunnel, and you look in, and there are what appear to be 4 orcs coming towards you. I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
so clearly they look a little more threatening than Enchanted.
Oh yes, they are not. From
Oh,
what you
I
can
didn't have my
see.
token selected.
Oh no, I hadn't opened up the initiative window anyway. Bear with me. There we go. Ready when you are. Yeah, it feels like they aren't interested in joining in. I don't think they want to harmonise with your sea shanties. Put it that way.
Could have been a great quartet.
Hey, I'm
I
now
think it's a
imagining
quintet.
an orc barbershop quintet.
Okay, we do need our tokens so we can do proper
Well,
initiative.
you need your tokens, of course you do.
I thought it was just me. I was
thought
like, scrolling
No,
up and
it's
down.
just me. Hang on. That was entirely on me. We're on cave. I need to have a clear out of some of these maps. No, we're not on Wave Echo Cave. What am I talking about? We're on. We begin with a W, and I've had a very long.
There we are.
There we go. You should. There we are. And feel free to reposition yourselves accordingly. You know, if you're not quite that far into the caves yet. Yeah. So up first, we have Serenity.
So she will just start pulling out her sword and just getting ready for combat. I mean, she's not going to be the first to attack, but I believe I can activate tunnel fighting. But I would like to go defensive and activate tunnel fighting.
Okay, you've got it.
So, quick
You're
question.
not moving in, it just drawing your sword, yeah?
She'll go here.
Her +1 sword.
Her +1 sword.
Is this boulder here? Is this impassable or is this just difficult terrain?
So it's a fairly low tunnel. So I would say we'll call it difficult terrain.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll call it difficult terrain. That's fine. Anything else you want to do, Serenity?
No, that's it.
Okay. Up next we have Harrow.
I will move up to support Serenity and plunk this this lead orc with Eldritch Blast.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
Or not.
Unfortunately, the Eldritch Blast goes very wide, sparks harmlessly off the side wall, and does no damage. The orcs, who at this point had been kind of laughing at Serenity's, bravado and challenge, now start laughing even harder at the totally ineffective use of a ranged spell, and they're not in the slightest bit worried. Do you want to do anything else?
I think that's it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Problem. Okay, absolutely fine. Up next, we have Hardstadt.
I am going to move up and put myself right there and back up Serenity, and I'm going to play I'm going to give Serenity Shield of Faith as a bonus action.
Okie dokie. So,
So good.
just, well, I learned these as I'm going along. Shield of Faith. So, yes, just
I
bear in
posted
mind it
for
is
you.
a concentration.
It is. I posted
So
it
I'm
for you.
just... Oh, cool. Yes, thank you. So Serenity has a +2 to her AC, and I'm going to mark. Let's see which one I chose last time is concentrating, but that is today's concentration symbol, the symbol of the day. Okay. Anything else that you want to do, Hardstack?
I think there was a discussion as to casting 2 spells in the same turn on our last session.
Yes. So, and I did forget to look into this. I'm sorry. My understanding would be. Tell you what. Let me just quickly double check. I think if you cast a spell as your action, you can only cast a cantrip as your bonus action.
I just cast my
Does
bonus
that
action.
sound right to anyone else? Is that someone? Does that sound right?
I think you can only
folks?
cast one spell a turn. I think sorcerers are specifically built to be able to cast a spell as a bonus action using sorcerer's points. I think.
Okay, let's have a look. A spell cast with a bonus action is especially swift. You must use a bonus action on your turn to cast a spell, provided that you haven't already taken a bonus action this turn. You can't cast another spell during the same turn, except for a cantrip with a casting time of 1 action. So if you have a cantrip with 1 action, I think I'm essentially reversing what I was saying there, but I'd be happy if you had a cantrip that you wanted to use that had a casting time of 1 action. I would allow that.
No, it looks like that should end my turn.
Okay, no problem at all. And after Hardstack, we have Droop.
Droop is going to play volley and kill all 4 of them.
Somehow he's going to ricochet an arrow through them all.
Droop doesn't even break a sweat, sets fire to the entire cave network.
Droop is just gonna try and shoot him with his crossbow.
Okay,
Yeah, that one.
The bottom, no problem at all. That's absolutely fine. So go for it.
Oh, here we go.
Little monster.
Okay, so a 12 does not hit, fortunately. Droop takes aim, fires, and it does reach the orc, and it just kind of bounces harmlessly off his off the hide armor that he's wearing. It's kind of lost most of its momentum by the time it reached him, unfortunately. Does Droop want to do anything else? Any movement?
He'll go ahead and hide behind Serenity.
Okay, no problem at all. Is he actually hiding?
Yeah.
Yep, so he just needs to roll a stealth check. Oh, they're already done? You're way ahead of me. 19. Okay, good to know. So, up next we have the orcs. Now, the first orc is going to come up to here. This orc is going to come up next to him. And then the other 2 are going to kind of hang back. And they've been in battles before, they've been in fights before. They know that the secret to all good battles is to not rush to anything stupid. So they're kind of taking their defensive positions, and that is all that they're going to do. Serenity, back to you.
Let's see. Can I use thaumaturgy to try and distract some of them? See if I can't give them like disadvantage on the next roll or something.
Okay, so what are you going to use thaumaturgy to do? Distract them how?
So essentially, like, what kind of armors are they all wearing? Is it just basic leathers?
Hide armor. Yeah.
So essentially, like the sound of like metal armor clinking down the halls behind them and like echoing, like there's multiples of them, to basically try and be like,
Okay.
wait, are we surrounded? How did that even happen? Like clearly footsteps that aren't orc footsteps.
Okay, that's fine. So, what I'd like you to do for me, just to see how convincing it is, can you please roll a performance check? And bear with me. So, they are all. We're going to say that they are all. They don't kind of meet the criteria of any of the sort of official conditions. But we're going to say for now that they are slightly discombobulated. Which should be an official condition if you ask me, but there we go. So yeah, that's those sound of chain mail is very convincing to them, and they are kind of all looking over the shoulder, trying to work out what's going on. Oh, they won't step yet because it's not their turn. But what we're going to say is, for the purposes of this, in this round, they are going to essentially miss their turn. Okay, while they try to work out what's going on. Do you want to do anything else?
Nope, just gonna hang out for now. Still in defensive, still with tunnel fighting.
Tunnel fighting? No problem at all. Harrow, over to you.
Oh, it's going to be a waiting game. I see how it is. All right, we're going to Eldritch Blast one of these bastards.
Okay, which one? Bottom one, yep, no problem at all. Go for it. You raise your hand, point your and that sure does hit. So yeah, go ahead and roll damage. Okay, excellent. That's total, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is fantastic. So yeah, he takes, while he's still looking around trying to work out the source of this this sound of chains clanking in the sort of deeper recesses of this cave, you smack him with an eldritch blast that makes his eyes water, and he's still standing, but all of a sudden he's discombobulated and slightly on fire.
Slightly on fire.
Slightly, just slightly. It's smouldering somewhat.
Toasty.
And not in a James Bond kind of way.
Laugh
Anything
at
else,
that, you
Harrow?
filthy orc. That's it for me.
Okay. The orcs at this point are kind of slightly freaking out. Like I said, they've been in battles before, but all of a sudden they're thinking that maybe they're slightly out of their depth. Hardstadt, over to you.
Alright. Let's play Guiding Bolt on that one that Harrow just lit up.
Okay, okay.
I'm not sure if that should be in. Hold on, please.
So that should be a range attack.
Yes, I have the attack coming.
24 sure does hit. So yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
I'm just gonna play this at level 1 to see what it does.
Holy crap!
That's level
Booze
1.
us up.
So yes, as no sooner has he been hit by the Eldritch Blast than at the same time a beam of radiant light comes from Hardstadt and crashes into him, and he vanishes in a pile of in a puff of smoke. No longer there.
Okay, so that counts as my action, and I could still cast another one or another spell as a bonus action.
As long as the bonus action was a cantrip.
Oh, it's a cantrip. Okay.
Yeah. You can't do more than one sort of leveled spell. You can do a sort of a spell and then a cantrip. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to do like another sort of
And it
a
can't
more
be,
complex spell than that, essentially.
And it can't be a concentration cantrip because I already have concentration played on Serenity.
It can, but Serenity will lose the Shield of Faith.
No, I don't want to do that. Okay, that should. I don't believe I'm going to move. I'm in a good spot, so that will end my turn.
No problem. Up next, we have Magnificent Droop.
He's gonna try and shoot him again.
Okay. I think from where Droop is there, we said that. Oh no, we said that was difficult terrain, didn't we? Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, that'll just be normal. Yeah, that'll be a normal shot. Not going to add anything to his AC. That's fine.
Oh, I forgot to even check if that hit. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It did indeed hit. Yeah. So so suddenly there seems to be a lot of ranged attack going on, and although these orcs thought that they were doing well by kind of hanging back, they suddenly realised that they're maybe not in quite as strong a position as they thought they were.
They're checking behind
Does Droop
them.
want to do it? Yeah, they're still looking over their shoulder. They're still, it's only been essentially a few seconds since there was since that chainmail sounded. So they're still not quite sure what's going on here. They suddenly realise that they kind of, or as far as they're concerned, they're kind of taking attack from all sides. Anything else, Droop?
I think he's just gonna hide again.
Sure, no problem. Another stealth check. Okay. As I've already stated, the orcs are essentially going to miss their turn because they've been so freaked out by the by Serenity's thaumaturgy. So we will go straight back to the top of the next round and Serenity. We will say now, however, that the orcs have kind of regained their composure, and so from now on they're kind of back to full fighting fit.
Perfect. I will try to use Divine Smite.
Ooh, cheeky. Okay, so now if I
which
remember, you
is
have
after
to
sword
make a
swing first,
you have
though.
to make a melee attack, don't you?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Here we go.
Shit's getting real.
Nope.
Oh, unfortunately, just you have the long sword in your hand, and you're trying to swing, and you just can't quite get the angle on, and it clangs down on the ground, just next to the orc's feet, and he looks, and again, once more, you feel that he's really, he's where in the last round they were kind of scared. Now that they've kind of got over that thing of what was happening with the chains and the fact that you just absolutely flubbed that swing, he's back to his placid cocky self.
Perfect.
Do you want to do anything else?
Just defensive and tunnel fighting.
Defensive and tunnel fighting, you got it. Harrow.
All right, we'll move up to there, and this fellow who's laughing at my sister, we'll just go whole ham on him. We'll
Okay.
we'll cast Hex on him.
Okay, so let me just find it. So we are going to say that he is hexed. So with
Oh
hex.
my god! Look at us with all our ones.
Wow, these
Wow.
rolls are awful. So, yeah, but the so you're doing the second one as a
You know
bonus
what,
action, yeah?
I can't do the second one because I hexed as a bonus action.
Ah, so you did, yes, of course. Yeah, no, so he is hexed, but nothing else has happened. That's similar to Serenity, just not quite having the right angle with her longsword. You just can't quite get the angle with your weapon there either. Anything else you want to do, Harrow?
I think that's it for me.
Okie dokie. And then we are back to Hardstadt. I will just also, quickly, Harrow, I will also mark you as concentrating.
Perfect.
Because Hex is concentration, isn't it?
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, it's the little ghost.
Yeah,
ring.
sorry, Hardstadt. Yeah, that's just the symbol I picked there for hexed.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
that orc
looks
is currently hexed, yeah.
good. All right, Hardstadt's gonna move up. And I'm gonna put myself right here in front of Serenity, and I'm gonna take a swing at our guy that is hexed with. My Warhammer.
Oh, this could do some damage. It could do some damage.
It could.
It doesn't do any damage.
All right. was worth it.
This one guy really rallied.
But it had potential. Put it that way. It did have potential. I kind of didn't want to use this sound effect just because it kind of takes, it slightly removes us from the situation. But I feel with the roles that you guys are having, it kind of warrants it. So yeah, sorry guys.
I knew that was coming. And as my bonus action, I'm going to play Sanctuary on Harrow.
Sanctuary on Harrow, no
Sanctuary.
problem at all.
Nice.
Okay, so let's find a symbol for that to remind me that he is sanctuarized. That's not a real word, but it is now. I think technically the one that I used for concentration is the sanctuary symbol. Let's use that one.
Looks like he's
Just
vibrating.
as an aid memoir for me, yeah. Okay. Anything else, Hardstadt?
No, sir. I think that'll end my turn.
No problem. Up next, the magnificent Droop.
Come on, Droop. You gotta save us.
You know, battles with so much.
All right. I was trying to let you guys do it for once, but
Droop comes to save the day.
Holy crap!
I really need to invest in a voice changer. Oh my god. Who was it, sorry, that Droop was aiming at?
He's
That
gonna
guy
aim at
there.
the second guy.
That's fine.
That's
Oh,
it, folks.
which
We
one,
can
sorry?
go.
The second one.
Yeah.
That guy. Okay, no problem at all. So
Crap.
that orc is kind of had joined in the laughter at the various misfortunes of all these failing swings of hammers and longswords and everything else. And as he continues to laugh, he gets an arrow straight through the eye, and and slumps to the ground dead. Once again, Droop saving your asses. Does Droop want to do anything else? It's fucking goblin. He's only supposed to be a novelty fucking NPC.
No, he just laughs at them.
He just laughs at him. Okay. Droop is closely related to Elmo. Okay, so Droop has had his turn, and now we have the orcs. So, what happens here is, first of all, sorry, let me just get onto the right layer. So, as you're watching, the smouldering ruins of the orc where Hardstadt is now stood, the orc slumped to the ground with an arrow in his eye. From what would appear to be round the corner, 2 more orcs appear. And now they look like they are pissed off. So, the orc who Hardstadt swung for, he is going to swing his great axe at Hardstadt. And that
Disadvantage.
is yes, thank you. That is a 15 to hit.
That is a miss, sir.
That is a miss. Good thing that you reminded me about that disadvantage, because his other roll was a 24. Yeah, these guys don't mess around with the great axe. So, yeah, it swings and misses, and the look on his face as if to say, "Oh shit, I've just been laughing at these guys for this exact same thing. I'm not going to be able to show my face in the orc canteen later." This orc is going to throw his javelin at Hardstadt, and that is a 14 to hit.
That is a miss as well.
That is a miss. And the other 2 orcs, seeing that their comrades haven't done so well, are just going to hang back and just continue to shore up the defenses for the cave. Next round, Serenity.
Let's try and hit this guy in front of us again.
Good, okay. A 12 just misses, unfortunately. It scrapes off the side of his, and it looks down as if to say that was close, but doesn't do any damage, I'm afraid. Anything else you want to do?
No.
Up next, we have Harrow.
Alright, now we're gonna full round attack this frickin' orc. and pray to the gods of RNG.
RN Jesus.
23 hits.
Very nice.
Okay, so he is woozy. He looks punch drunk, but he is still standing. And with the necrotic damage, he is no longer standing.
Yay!
He slumps to the ground, almost as if like he was saying, "I can't believe I survived that hit." Oh shit!
then
And he kind of
exploded.
feels a, yeah, exactly. He feels darker forces is taking a hold of himself, and yeah, he is a former orc.
The violent, lethal version of when you stand up and you're like, I guess I'm not as drunk as I thought I was, and then 10 seconds later the booze hits and you're like, oh no.
Yep. Oh shit.
So since he's dead from the first hit, I'll use my bonus action to move my hex to this fellow here.
You've got it. Hexed. Anything else?
I'm gonna move up onto. You know what? No, I'm gonna stay right where I am. So yeah, I'm done.
No worries. Hard stat, over to you.
Okay. Since Haro moved his curse over to that gentleman, we are going to go with Guiding Bolt again.
Okay. Roll for it. Now the rolls are coming better. Yeah, absolutely, that will hit. Roll for damage.
Alright, damage incoming. Level 1. Oh,
gone.
Jesus.
That's he.
Wow.
You didn't give him a chance to call his mother. You didn't give him a chance to say goodbye or to get his affairs in order. You just blasted him out of the sky. He's gone.
Alright, spell slot marked. Let's see if I have a cantrip.
Man, if it didn't kill him next round, he was definitely going to get just wrecked from the advantage.
No, I believe that is it for me. I will stay where I'm at, and that should end my turn.
Goddamn hard stat.
Yeah, that was something. Surprised me.
Understatement of the day right there. Droop, over to you.
We're just gonna shoot the one. Let's see. That one.
Okay, what's the range on the crossbow again?
Oh,
Oh, it's
80.
80. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Jesus, little man.
Yes, that will surprise no one that 21 hits for 4 piercing damage. So these orcs are starting to look worried. They're thinking maybe we should just listen to the nice tiefling lady and maybe try to have a drinking competition with her.
In the love tunnel.
In the love tunnel.
too late now.
Does
I
Steve want to
tried.
do anything else?
That is true. You tried.
You tried. No one can ever accuse you of not trying.
Sang a little ditty.
He just hides again.
Cool, you got it. So up now we have the orcs, and this orc. And now I've lost track. It was that orc previously that threw his javelin, wasn't it?
You.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
It was, yeah. So this orc is going to throw his javelin at Hardstadt.
Disadvantage.
And yep, fails miserably. Passes, it knocks into the wall somewhere over here. Doesn't even get the range on it. He is, however, going to move into Hardstat's range there. Just try and get up in his face a bit. This orc is also going to come forward, and he is going to swing his great axe at Hardstadt. And that is an 18 to hit.
Oh,
Does the disadvantage come in again, or does it only work once?
I think it's just a one-time reaction.
Okay.
can I rebuke?
So does the 18 hit then, Hardstadt? Yeah.
Oh yes. I'm sorry. The AC. My AC is 18. I was waiting to see what you were going to say to Serenity.
Yeah, I think that disadvantage is just a one-time reaction per round, isn't it, Serenity?
Yes, but can I use rebuke the violent?
That is a very good question. Let's have a look. Remind me, can you pop it in there? There we are. Thank you. Means that after an attack with an feet deals damage with an attack. Use your reaction to force the attacker to make a wisdom saving throw. But have you not already used your reaction?
Only
you're
attack of
right.
opportunities.
Yeah. Sorry. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, unfortunately, that would hit Hardstadt, and that does 14 points of damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not.
That's tolerable.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be worse than that. I'm having trouble mathing today. Hold on. Yeah, okay, there it is. I'm still good. I'm in the fight still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you need something else from me, Paul? Or did you freeze up? I think Paul has left us.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back. I think the worst part about that is realizing that you've been disconnected. For the time it takes.
Yes. Sorry, folks. I got as far as saying that a new orc has entered the battlefield, and then I realised that Ray was showing us frozen, so I wasn't sure if it was myself or him that was frozen. So yeah. So there's a new orc on there who seems to be somewhat meatier, somewhat heftier, probably the orc in charge around here. If you ask to speak to the manager, this is the orc that you would get.
Oh, okay.
So with that in mind, Serenity, back to you.
Did we decide if someone's down, if we can occupy that space?
Yeah, I'm happy for that to happen. Hardstat's currently trampling on the remains of one, so yeah, it's fine.
That's because
I'll
I'm an
step up
asshole.
here, and I would like to hit this guy.
Some cleric.
Some guy.
No respect for the dead.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, that does definitely hit. Roll damage.
I would like to also use Divine Smite.
I'm sure you would. Yes, that is absolutely fine. What level are you casting it at?
Just level 1.
Level 1? No problem at all. It was the guy. It was the dude in front of you. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he is no longer on this plane. He has decided that he is going to go and visit his ancestors in wherever the ancestors are. He's gone. He is no longer. Anything else you want to do?
That is it, besides just tunnel fighting.
Tunnel fighting. Yeah, you've got it. Might as well turn it into a bit of a cabaret. Harrow, over to you.
I will move my hex onto Big Meaty Boy back here.
Big meaty boy. Which, funnily enough, is also my screen name. No, sorry.
That's what Jody was telling us.
That's why his camera's set so far back.
Yeah, it needs a wide lens.
And then we'll Eldritch Strike, Eldritch Blast that same guy.
Eldritch Blast that same guy. Okay, no problem. So let's just have a wee look and see who's between you and him there. It's hard to start. Orc, the other orcs have fallen. I'm going to give him +2 to his AC, okay?
Plus
Okay.
one.
Because there's just a
So-
few people between you and him.
+1, I'm pretty sure.
How's that?
That definitely does hit. Yes. Even with that extra bit of AC on him. So that's 8 and then 6. So that is 14 points of damage that he's taken there. He is not used to being attacked so readily. Normally, he's able to kind of withhold. You know, he's able to put people off trying to attack him. But yeah, you guys aren't taking any prisoners, and he is shocked that he's been hit. You know, kind of, you know, in movies where you see like soldier looks down and is like, "You shot me! I can't believe you shot me!"
Give him a little
But
hand
you know,
wave.
in a more gruff like, "You shot me! I can't believe you shot me!" Same thing, different effect on my throat.
Oh, I do
Yeah.
declare.
Help! Help! Yeah, he's taken some damage. Do you want to do anything else?
I believe that's it for me.
Awesome. Hardstadt, you're up.
Yes.
You currently have one particularly pissed off orc directly in front.
Yes, I'm gonna use my one-handed warhammer to see if I can get some damage in on this guy.
Go for it. Swing away. You certainly do get some damage on him. Let's roll to see how much damage. Okay, so he is that right? Feels like a very little. I know it is, yeah. Yeah. So after all these failed swings, failed misses, you know, swing and miss, to finally feel one make contact, and the satisfying thud of some of his skull smashing under your hammer.
Oh,
He's still
okay.
standing. It's going to take more than one smash of the skull to get this guy down on the ground, but it feels good. It reminds you of why you get up in the morning.
Alright. And as a bonus action, I'm going to play Healing Word on myself.
By all means.
I'm getting the hang of switching between melee and casting.
Okay, so you heal for 5 points.
And let's see, I got Harrow behind me. Oh, I'm gonna stay right where I'm at, and that should end my turn.
Problem. We now are on to Droop.
He would like to shoot this guy.
Okay, no problem at all. Again, Harrow is there, Hardstat's there. I'm going to give him a +2 to his AC, okay?
Okay.
Droop don't care. Droop's either gonna wildly miss
Droop
or
doesn't give
murder.
a shit. Droop could do it blindfolded and it'd still hit.
God.
See, it's either he's gonna murder him or
Man,
go
it's either
wild.
20s or 1s with Droop.
Droop has, at this stage, got possibly overconfident and kind of is, ready to do, like, essentially a trick shot. Like, hey guys, look what I can do. Doesn't even aim, and he looses the arrow far too late, and it flies directly into the roof above your heads and just lodges in there. So yeah, that's
Kind of a look up,
I-
look at the goblin moment.
yeah, sort of a rare failure for Droop there, if we're honest, but a failure nonetheless. Does Droop want to do anything else?
Just hide and hang out.
No worries, hide and hang out. The D&D equivalent of Netflix and chill. Cool. So he is hidden. We now are back to the orcs. So this concussed orc directly in front of Hardstadt is going to swing once more with his great axe directly at you. And that is a 21.
Ooh, yes, that hits.
Okay. And that does 12 points of damage.
Can I rebuke the violent? Since I haven't used any disadvantage actions.
You can just try and say it a bit sooner in future, but yes, you can on this occasion.
And it's only if he gets hit.
It is, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So that would turn it into a 12, which misses.
Oh
No, I'm
Not
sorry.
it.
I'm not putting disadvantage on it.
Oh no,
I'm-
sorry. I've misunderstood you there. My
Yeah,
apologies
'cause
there,
I
that's on me.
That one that you're referring to is one that I should say beforehand, but the rebuke of the violent is one that is a reaction to the other person being hit.
You are quite right. Yep. My apologies.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you for putting that in the chat there. So I have to make a wisdom saving throw. Okay, so be and that is an 18.
So he
So,
takes half damage.
Half damage of the damage that he just did. He just
Yes.
did 12 damage, so he takes 6 damage. As soon as it will let me. So there we go. He has a very confused look in his eyes, and you're not sure if it's a concussion or the fact that he doesn't quite understand how he can do damage to someone else and suddenly feel a lot worse himself. But he is still standing, but he looks very confused and injured. So that's that dude's turn. The hefty boy is going to come. He's going to actually go step on the body of his fallen brother. He doesn't care. We're all savages here. And he is going to throw his javelin, because I don't believe he has thrown his yet. He's going to throw his javelin at Droop.
Oh, because he
No.
didn't hide last turn.
Did, but actually that's a point. Let me just quickly roll a perception check for him. I'm glad you guys know what I'm supposed to be.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, no, he can't actually see Droop, so he wouldn't aim at Droop. He would instead aim at Serenity.
What's that?
So
Let's go.
Yeah.
let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. And he throws his javelin at Serenity for an 17.
Does not hit.
Does not hit, and none of them have javelins in. He is not a happy bunny, but he can't really do anything else. He doesn't want to move back. He's not going to lose space like that. So, yeah, that's the end of his turn. Serenity, you're up.
Let's attack. So I'm gonna move up to here and attack this guy.
You got it. Fortunately, a 13 doesn't hit.
Tight tunnel.
Swing and a miss.
She just sinks into hallway fighting stance, whatever it's called. That was not what it's called, but tunnel fighting.
Yeah, we know what
Hallway fighting.
hallway fighting. Yeah, that the skill she learned at school.
Yeah.
Wherever tieflings go to school, yeah, she learned the ancient art of hallway fighting there.
Hope for your sake you have a hall pass.
Oh my god.
Recess is over. Okay. Does Serenity want to do anything else?
Nah.
Maybe take the register to the office for the teacher?
Nah.
No? Okay. Okay, Harrow, you're up.
Alright, I'm going to pull an attack of opportunity from this guy here. Because I'm going to go here, and then to there.
Okay. So
But I
he will
do have Sanctuary on.
Yes, you do. So let's just remind myself of what Sanctuary does to make sure I don't fuck up again. So he will take the attack of opportunity, but he then has to make. Oh no, he has to make the wisdom save first. Okay, so wisdom save. He rolls a 19 on his wisdom save.
He can go ahead and try to make his attack then.
Now he can try and make his attack, which is a great axe, and that is a 24.
That'll hit.
And that does 10 slashing damage.
These great axes aren't all that great.
I'll hellish rebuke him for doing that.
Okay. Remind me, is that wisdom save?
It is
Dex
something.
save. It's a dex save.
Yeah, it's a dex save.
And he fails miserably. So he takes 14 points of. Yeah, I mean, he was only on 1 hit point. He's gone. He's dead. I don't even have to do the math on that. He's gone.
He was all proud
so
of
yeah.
himself too. I'm hanging in there.
And then I'm gonna
I can do it.
lay into this orc with my glaive.
Go on, lay in. Unfortunately, a 10 does not hit.
But I have advantage because I'm flanking him.
Yes, you do, and the 17 does hit. So go ahead and roll damage. Okay. Not an insignificant amount of damage, but he is still standing. And the hex plus another 5, so yep, he's still standing, but starting to look pretty beat up, both physically and psychically.
What is that?
And then this is your bonus action, you motherfucker. And that also hits. and that is, holy shit, he has gone down like a sack of potatoes. He is dead. There is no hope for him. No amount of resuscitation would help there. So yeah, he was the last of them standing. He is no longer. So we are out of initiative.
Oh, that was fun. I like
Woohoo!
that.
That was tense.
That was very tense. Oh, hang on, I've just chosen the wrong option there in the sound.
Life is hard when Droop isn't rolling high.
you
tell you
did
what,
just ace that one orc in a shot.
Droop is carrying you motherfuckers every week. So yeah. So you are currently in this cave, Harrow, with your devil sight, and actually the rest of you are probably now close enough that you would see a bit more of the tunnel off to the north. I'll say that much.
Hey, Droop, you want to loot the bodies?
Do I ever? This is the only reason the group gets into adventuring.
Get the loot, little buddy. Get the loot.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Harrow. Does Droop have to share, or is this all for Droop?
You
I
can
would
have-
like it if you shared.
You can have all the loot on the one you killed through the eye.
Oh, thank you.
So Droop does some looting on the one where he
Oh no.
killed him through the eye. He finds 3 copper pieces. On the rest of the bodies, there is a total of 120 copper pieces, 5 silver pieces,
Wait,
and 1 gold piece. Did you get all that?
can you read that off one more time?
Sure. 120 copper, 5 silver, and 1 gold. And that's in addition to the 3 copper pieces that Droop gets to keep for himself. And you would think, with the amount of treasure that was found on the other bodies, that Droop would be kind of pissed off and unhappy with the amount he gets to keep. He has never been happier in his life. He has 3 copper pieces to call his own. He is feeling like a king.
Bless.
Oh, Miss Serenity, are you sure Droop can keep these 3 copper pieces? Droop is happy to put into the group funds if you want.
No, I think you've definitely earned that.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Serenity. Thank you, 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 thank you.
Buy yourself something nice.
Oh, I will, Mr. Hatstead. Droop already has in mind a lovely hat with a feather.
Yes, that is exactly what you need, my little friend.
Oh, I'm going to start saving now.
I can see our next session. He's going to have an avatar that has a hat with a feather.
I may be Googling sort of images of goblins in hats as we speak. I will be by the next session.
You can
We will
hero
absolutely
forge him.
update his.
Yeah.
Oh yes. That is this week's downtime sorted for me. I don't know if they'll do like a Robin Hood style hat. That's how I'm kind of visualizing it, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, bodies have been looted, and there is a tunnel to explore.
Let's go.
Harrow, from where you are, you would see a bit more of tunnel network. So you would see. We didn't see that top.
Before we get into the nitty gritty of looting, can we take a quick break?
Absolutely. Character wise or player wise?
Yes.
All of the above.
Mostly out of character, though.
That's absolutely fine.
Alright.
How long do people want? 15 minutes?
That should work.
Good for you, Ray?
Yes, that should be fine.
Awesome. Cool. So we shall return in 15 minutes.
Nice.
See you shortly. have Harold
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Serenity. Cool.
Oh, hello.
Welcome
Hello.
back, everybody.
So, obviously, players themselves have had a short rest. Were the characters also having a short rest?
I wouldn't mind.
What does that spell slots open up?
Spell slots, no, but let's have a look and see if you would regain anything.
Do you have
You
any
could
hit points
spend-
missing?
I was going to say, yeah, you could spend a hit dice if you wanted to.
Yes.
Spend some hit dice,
I-
or you could use lay on hands. Oh no, you're not a paladin.
I was going
You
to
never mind a paladin.
play Cure Wounds on myself before the rest, but if I don't get those spell slots back, then I could just use the dice.
Okay, no problem. So roll however many hit dice you want, up to 4, and don't forget to add your Constitution modifier to each as well. If you roll 1 hit dice, you add that plus your +1 Constitution modifier. So 9. Oh, it's done it for you already. Hey, isn't that clever? Got to love roll 20. I've never actually used roll 20 as a player, so there's some things that I've never had to use. So yeah, Hardstat gains 9 hit points. Harrow, oh, that was a bit of a shitty roll, wasn't it? Harrow regains 4 hit points.
That almost got me to full.
It did, almost. If you're also having your short rest, it's safe to assume that Harrow is not keeping Hex in play to bonus action onto anything else.
Oh, yeah.
And also Hardstat would no longer be concentrating on Sanctuary you would cast Hardstat. Can't remember. No, Shield of Faith, wasn't it? So I just knock those icons. How long does Shield of Faith last for? Or is that 8 hours? Too many bits of paper. Oh no, Shield of Faith is only up to 10 minutes, so that would definitely. Are you guys also able to amend like little icons? Like if
Maybe.
you click on your token, and along the top it would bring up sort of, hit points, AC, things like
Yeah,
that.
looks like it.
Underneath, yeah, it gives you like an option, sort of the one directly under your token gives you options for lots of different little mini icons. There we go. Look at that.
Look at that.
Okay.
I got a spooky
So-
ghost.
What I'll do is I'll find a way of like possibly renaming them just so there's consistency across them, and then I might just let you guys take responsibility for your icons. So it's one less thing on my plate.
Yeah, I absolutely can do that. I didn't realize that they had aura radiuses on them. So when Iris ends up getting her area of effects for being a paladin, she can throw down an aura around herself.
Yes, I think that might be a fairly new thing. I know they've been doing a lot of work on sort of lighting type stuff recently. Again, because I've kind of just fudged it with dynamic lighting, things like that. I haven't really been using it, but yeah, auras can be done. So yeah, area of effect. So things like detect good and evil, things like that. You can see exactly how much is covered on it, so that helps me as well. So I don't have to stand there measuring squares to see if something is included.
We will
It's all good.
definitely keep that in mind for future sessions.
Yeah, it's all a learning experience, isn't it? I can't remember how it is. Yeah, token aura. Yeah. So cool. So has everyone done what they need to do in terms of short rest for their
Yes, sir.
characters?
I believe so. Yes.
Cool. Serenity, were you doing anything with yours, or
Nope, she's just hanging out, keeping watch.
just hanging out, keeping watch? No worries. Okay, so I've highlighted on the map kind of as far as Harrow would be able to see based on where he is. Hardstadt, remind me, what's your dark vision? Is it 60 feet?
Dark vision is
What's that?
60 feet.
Yeah,
Yes.
60 feet, cool. So yeah, you'd be able to see most of this as well. Actually, you'd be able to see all of it.
I keep my characters. I keep my character sheet on my spell list most of the time, so it takes me a little bit to get back to it.
That's all good. Okay, what do you guys want to do?
Let's toss this joint.
Yeah, and we'll search for stuff while we're at it.
Perv.
What?
Okay. So, is there? Just bear with me 1 second. I'll reveal some more of the cave network.
I assume that curve of the room that we were just in is all just a wall that wasn't fully revealed.
Yes.
I stare at it intently.
I just wanted to make sure.
The dwarfs over there being like, shoddy craftsmanship right here.
Hardstadt uses his stone cunning and realizes that it is just a wall. So, Harrow, from where you are, you would see sort of into that area there, yeah?
Wow.
And what you also notice there is a giant fucking ogre. I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Son of a bitch.
What?
He can't get to us, guys. He can't get to us. We're fine.
We could just leave.
Yeah, I don't know that they exactly thought about the physics of where they place that token.
So,
Wait, how did
do
he
you
get
want
in
us
there?
to reroll initiative?
Yes, please. Let me just clear the turn order. Hang on.
There's no way that guy fit through that little crack. They must have been feeding him through there.
For some reason, it's not letting me. There we go. Just get my battle music back up.
I need to take a
Oh,
nap.
as soon as.
Oh my.
It's okay, it makes sense. You were busy staring at a wall, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
This is Harrow just being like, fall back, fall back, fall back, get back, get back, get back.
Just admiring the stonework where there's this monster over there in the corner.
Sorry, folks. I'm just reloading the music because it doesn't always play properly. It's not quite calibrated for a tablet screen. There we go. Okay,
Excuse me?
so let's take out the swords for now because as of yet, swords. But yes, the Serenity. You're up first. What
Oh,
would you like to do?
If I could, just put out a battle plan real quick. Nobody get hurt, okay?
Great.
Roger that.
It's a shame you're not a bard because that would have been, so inspiring. That would have been bardic inspiration right there. Okay, Serenity.
Okay, so Serenity's gonna move up right here, and she's basically gonna just hold this hallway until she knows what the fuck is happening.
That's absolutely fair enough.
Yeah, bonus action into defense, just in case.
Cool, you got it. Harrow, over to you.
Harold's gonna nope. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Yeah, screw that. I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him.
Okay.
Yeah, like the last orcs. No. I'm Eldritch Blasting this bastard. And since I took a short rest, I'll also Hex him.
You got it. So I shall mark him as hexed. Okay, so roll for your Eldritch Blast.
Nope.
And as it leaves your hand towards him, it's the sheer magnitude of the challenge ahead of you seems to somewhat overwhelm you for a moment, and your shot goes very wide. Do you want to do anything else?
Yep.
Retreat!
Get the fuck back. That's what else I want to do.
Okay. Up next is the ogre. Now, I am going to, because this wasn't an official map, this was a map that I found online. I'm going to say in the interest of full disclosure, and I don't think they entirely thought about the physics of getting an ogre into a space through a tunnel that is clearly far too small. However, I'm going to use the logic that if he was able to get in there, he would be able to get out of there.
He was so small when they first brought him in. They just found him out there and they were like, "Can we keep him?"
adopted him
Like,
as a
sure.
little
And then he just
baby.
got bigger and bigger, and then they were like, "Uh-oh, we've made a mistake."
Yeah, so that would have made sense as well. But what I'm going to say is to get through here, it's going to count as very difficult terrain
That's
for
fair.
him. Okay, I've just made up a new category of terrain. So his speed is normally 40. What I'm going to say is it takes him all of his speed just to get to there. Is everyone happy with that?
I'm fine with that.
Sounds great.
Is that fair? Oh, okay, awesome. And what he's going to do is he is just going to let out a deafening roar, which I'm not going to do, don't worry. But he lets out a deafening roar. He realizes that he's going to be able to have some fun right now.
Is it a friendly roar?
A friendly roar?
Does such a thing exist?
I don't know. Maybe he's just excited to see new people.
He hasn't had anybody who actually wants to play with him.
And he just doesn't know how to use his big boy words.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot that my hex also puts a disadvantage on an ability score. We're gonna
Yes, it
penalize.
does, yes.
We're gonna penalize his strength,
Thank you.
Okay.
just in case he gets crazy and is like, "I'm gonna grapple you" or some shit like that.
Okay. Duly noted.
Throw a truck at
Cool.
us.
So, so the ogre has done what he's going to do, and now we have Magnificent Droop.
Oh. So Drupal's. So he will step up here, shoot at the ogre, and
Yeah.
then step back with the rest of his movement.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll an attack with the arrow, the crossbow. That fucking goblin. Yes. So
Oh,
that
can I use Fury of the Small too?
sure, why not?
The extra damage is equal to Droop's level.
So that's another 4. We put Droop at 4 as well, didn't we? Or did we
Yeah.
make Droop level 4? No, he's the same, okay. Level 4, so that's another 4, so that's a total of 10 damage to the ogre. Okay. It seems a bit like throwing deck chairs off of the Titanic at the moment. 10 points of damage, and it doesn't look like it's even phased him. You said Droop was moving back then, yeah?
Yeah.
Got it, no problem. Okay, up next we have, last but not least, Hardstadt.
I guess I'll do the same thing. I'm going to move forward. Excuse me. And I'm going to use my light crossbow.
That's what I like about clerics. They're always so light. Okay, light crossbow. What's the range on the light crossbow? That's 80, isn't it, for the shortest range?
I'm not exactly sure how to find out.
Light crossbow, yes, it is. Yeah, it's 80's. If it was beyond 80 feet, you would have to do it at disadvantage, but it's well within 80 feet. So yeah, that's fine. Fire the crossbow. 14 hits.
Alright, damage incoming.
Okay.
That was not very good.
2 points of damage. So yeah, I mean, at the moment these are kind of these.
Alright, then I am going to move back to the rear with Droop. And I'll just be back here sharpening my hammer.
I think we lost him.
Oh. Yes, what does he know? Welcome back, Paul.
And we're back in the room. Just bear with me 1 second, I've just realised something. Sorry about that. Jodie's in the bath, and I just realised that if she left the bath, she would be walking past that open door in a state of undress.
So thoughtful.
You know,
You're a good man, Paul.
I think it would. Okay, so, oh no, what's happened to the music?
I still have music.
You still have music? Oh, I do now as well. Awesome, cool. Right, so Hardstadt shot his load and then
I sank back.
retreated.
I retreated, yes. And that should end my turn.
Okay, no problem. Serenity, back to you.
Man, he's just so far away. So she's just gonna keep holding and remaining defensive.
What other spells?
Okay. Harrow, what would you like to do?
I guess we're just going to keep doing this kind of pokey method. But I will throw a Hexblade Curse on him as well.
Okay. Let me just find my sheet of cards. Sheet of cards. Hexblade Curse. Yes, that's your bonus action, yeah. Now, is that within range? It's 30 feet, isn't it, for Hexblade's Curse?
I can move up a little bit as needed.
Cool.
Get that curse off on him. Get the curse on him, blast him, and run back.
You've got it. Right, so he's hexed, and then let me find a different one for Hexblade's curse. Hang on, let's put a little creepy cat as the Hexblade's curse until I come up with a better system for those icons. Okay, so he's got Hexblade's curse on him. And Eldritch Blast of 15 does hit, yes.
Then 2 more for the Hexblade curse.
You've got it, no problem. So that is another 9 off there. Okay, he's not really looking like he's taking much damage at all at this point, to be perfectly frank. I mean, he's... At this point, a lot of enemies would be getting concerned for their own safety. This dude just seems to be pissed off more than anything. Anything else, Taro, or have you done?
I think that's it for me.
Okay, so up next is Mr. Lover the Ogre. So he is going to move there. He's going to stomp over whatever that is on that piece of artwork. It's probably a stump table. He's going to get to about here, to the centre of the room, and he is sniffing the air.
Maybe we can feed him the orcs.
The ogre has had his turn. That's all he's doing. Droop!
Droop is gonna try and shoot him again.
It glances off. It doesn't make. I mean, it hits him, but it doesn't even pierce the skin. It just bounces off harmlessly, I'm afraid. So yeah, Droop seems to be having just as bad an evening as the rest of you at this stage. Nothing else with Droop? Is he hiding or?
Yeah, let's have him hide.
Go for it. Let's give us a stealth check. Okay, duly noted. Hardstat.
I'm just going to do the same as I did the last turn. Step up here. Take a shot with my light. Do I have anything? No, light crossbow it is.
Okay.
And that's a miss, I believe.
That is also a miss. Yeah, he's it's not making any impact on him whatsoever, unfortunately.
Alright. And I'll move
It's
back.
pissing him off. It's annoying him in the same way that if we went to a campsite and we were being, bitten by mosquitoes, after so long you go, "Fuck these mosquitoes!" You get the feeling that he's saying the same thing, only in giant. Which is roughly translated as "fuck these mosquitoes" in giant. Okay, if there's nothing else from Hardstat, we're back to Serenity.
Do I know anything about because I saw that he was sniffing, so, do I know, are they blind? Do they eat flesh? Can we feed them the orcs? Do they eat people?
Roll a nature check for me. Okay. You aren't 100% certain. given the size of his teeth, that you can quite clearly make out, even from this distance, it's a fair guess that he is most likely carnivorous. But I mean, you can't draw anything. You don't remember anything from school. You know, I think you were off school the day that they covered ogres. Yeah, I mean, logical guess with a nature check like that, you can work out that he's carnivorous.
There's a moment where Harrow looks at Serenity as she's like eyeballing this ogre, and he's like, "Do you not remember the stories Mum used to say?"
Never let an ogre into your refrigerator, because the first thing he will do is eat all of the cold cuts.
Yup.
That well-known fable. Okay, anything else, Serenity? If you want, I will let you have that nature check as a bonus action. So you can still use an action if you wish.
But then she can't go into her defensive stance.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold defensive stance for one more round.
Okay, you got it. Harrow, over to you.
Boop! Eldritch Blast! No! Now run away!
I love the fact that in my sort of headcanon, Harrow is actually doing the commentary for this as he takes his actions. So
Yeah,
he's
he
kind
actually
of
jumps out. He's
he
like,
jumps
Eldritch
out.
Blast!
Eldritch
Never mind,
Blast!
run away!
Run away! Awesome, fantastic.
That's my
That
tactic.
absolutely works for me. Okay, yeah, no, that Eldritch Blast was nowhere near, unfortunately. The energy fizzling out as it passed by him harmlessly. And you've already retreated like the coward that you are, so that's
Yes,
fine. So I'm
indeedy.
safe to assume that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
So up next is the ogre, and he is going to move. We'll move him to there,
Oh no.
and then he is going to throw his javelin at Serenity,
No!
and he rolled pitifully. He rolled a 19. Sorry, no, he rolled a 9.
The mighty
Which-
nine.
That
Even I
does not
know.
hit.
That does not hit. No, it does not. And he is now without his javelin. He's not sure how he can miss it. What is effectively a very short range for him, but he is now sniffing the air, grunting, and almost like talking to himself, like, "Come on, man, get it together. What the fuck was that? You could throw a javelin better than that. Maybe it's because you're rusty. Maybe because they had you trapped away in that small part of the cave where you couldn't really get out unless you really had to squeeze yourself through or possibly lube yourself up with some sort of butter. But apart from that, get it together, man."
He missed because he's being haunted by ghost cats.
He's being haunted by... There are the ghost cats. You've got to watch out for the ghost cats. They'll get you every time. Right, so the ogre is done, and we are back to Droop.
Okay, so we're so it's Droop's turn, yeah.
Droop's turn, yeah, correct.
So he'll pop out and shoot, and then pop back per usual.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. He is looking like he's starting to take some damage. He doesn't look very hurt, but he does look hurt. He looks like all these successful hits are starting to make a difference. Anything else from Droop? Oh, I think. Have I frozen again? Oh no, I think I'm good.
No, we're good.
Not a-
Oh, it's got to be a gnat.
Yeah.
I see. I got it. Okay. And then he was this. And hides.
Okay.
Holy crap.
He's just
Wow.
gone.
Wow. Okay. Right. So, up next we have Hardstadt.
Okay. I'm gonna pull a Leroy Jenkins. Run up to him, and I'm gonna hit him with my one-handed warhammer.
Okay.
Or not.
That just glances harmlessly off his blubbery leg. You feel like the blubber from the height of Hardstadt compared to the height of the ogre. You swing your one-handed hammer, and it does actually catch him in sort of where you approximate the thigh would be, but the fat of the thigh absorbs the impact, and there's a very brief moment where actually the hammer is stuck in his sort of blubbery thigh until you're able to get it out again. But yeah, it doesn't do any damage, I'm afraid. He looks at you as if to say, well, that was clever, wasn't it?
Well, I guess
Anything else?
I'm trying to decide. No, I think I'm gonna stay here. That should end my turn. Let's see what this guy does.
Okay, Serenity, you're up.
Okay, so playing into the Leroy Jenkins, Serenity is gonna move to this side of him, and she is
Go up one
going
more.
up one more.
Yep.
And she is going to make noises and also throw rations at him.
Okay. So make a general charisma check. What's your charisma modifier?
3.
Okay. And what's your performance modifier?
3.
It's the same. Okay. So yeah, make a charisma check for me, please. I would say just how noticeable you are doing all this.
And then we
Oh,
adopted
that
an
was
ogre.
unexpected. That was unexpected. Okay. He turns the first set of rations. How many days worth of rations do you throw at him?
At least 5. He's very big.
At least 5. Okay, so the first 2 sets of rations just kind of bounce off, but the impact of those combined with you making noise, yelling, screaming, "Hey, over here, you big lunk!" It is enough to get his attention. He stays where he is, but he turns, and now rather than his attention being on Hardstadt, his attention is now focused on Serenity. Is there anything else you want to do?
No, she's just gonna keep offering him rations for now.
Okay. I mean, the thing to remember is when those rations run out, he might not understand what's going on. Harrow, over to you.
Okay. Harrow's gonna also Leroy into this mess. Is that enough to be classified as flanking using Serenity?
Yeah, go on then.
Fantastic. Let's glaive this bastard.
Oh, the glaive's coming out. Okay, go for it.
Oh no!
Here we go. We're getting somewhere now. Yes, that absolutely will hit.
Horror.
Wow. Okay.
And then another 2 on top of that.
Yep. So 27 in total.
Sounds good to me.
He is struggling. He is now looking very woozy. He is swaying on the spot. Man, it's academic at this point, but roll for damage.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
Horror. Wow.
And another 2.
Yeah. The ogre, in his last fleeting moments of life, looks confused. He's trying to understand why 1 minute the nice lady was trying to give him food, and the next minute everyone else killed him. And that is the last thought that passes through his brain before he slumps to the floor.
A single
Dead.
tear in his eye.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. A dove flies through the back of the cave. Yeah, the ogre is no more.
Great.
All right. Good job, guys.
That was fun. I was tempted to bring him out in the first battle, but then I thought I'd let you have
It
a
was-
little rest.
It was definitely interesting to come around that corner and be like, oh, no.
Ooh, there's a big boy.
Came around that corner. I'm like looking at my spells. I'm like, oh, we're all gonna die.
Exactly. It was like, since he wasn't in the fight, we weren't holding back.
So yeah, we are out of initiative now. It's just a particular bit of music. So yeah, what would you like?
You got very quiet all of a sudden.
Just think, Serenity, you were so close to having another creature to adopt.
I know, I can't believe they took that from me.
Bastards.
What would we feed it?
Rations.
You need to. Okay, listen. Droop is an exception to the rule of what you can take home.
No, everything is an exception to the rule.
No,
just have
this
to be
thing
more
literally
disciplined.
would have eaten the entire village.
No, we would just put him where Nox was.
Not.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Yep.
Serenity, will you do me a favor?
Nope. What?
Just search the place, will you?
Okay.
I'll help. I didn't do much during that battle anyway, so I'll help look for stuff.
Okay, so let me just so you've got it. Rest.
Paul,
Hello.
did you switch your microphone?
Did I switch my mic?
Did you move away from it?
You got real like distant from it.
Oh, it dropped down slightly. Is that better?
Much better.
Much better, yeah.
Aha, cool. Thank you, guys. So we will just reveal the rest of the cave, just so you get an idea of what it looks like. So yeah, you toss the place, and you find in the treasure chest to the northwest, you find 750 copper pieces, 180 silver pieces, and 30 gold pieces. In oh, sorry. Let me know when you're.
Oh no, I'm good. I just said wow.
Oh, I thought you said wait. Cool. And then in this chest, you find 62 electrum pieces and 3 vials of perfume, which are worth approximately 10 gold pieces each.
Wow.
You also find in these crates here some rations, which you imagine have probably been from some of the, looting that they've been doing on the Tribo Trail. They've been keeping kind of the rations for themselves, just to keep themselves stocked up and supplied. So Serenity, you can easily enough replace the rations that you just tried to feed to the ogre. Just to make him slightly more human and just to try and make Serenity feel a little bit worse, the ogre's name was Gog.
Oh
Just,
my god, we could have had a
just-
Gog.
No, we could not have
Had
had
a
We
Gog.
had Droop and Gog. The Adventures
Droop and
of Droop
Gog.
and Gog.
That would have been if we all wiped. That would have been the next characters we played.
Droop, Gog, and Pip.
Oh my god.
Is this a
It's AU time, y'all.
Right.
Is
So,
this a stack is this a stack of hay in the middle here?
Yes, it would be a stack of. Yeah, it would be a stack of hay.
If I poke
Like I
it,
said, this is one that this is a map I found online.
if
I think I purchased this online actually, but yeah,
if I poke it,
I think
will an
the
assassin come out?
artist just. There's one way to find out. Okay, how'd you start? I need you to roll initiative. No.
A hay mimic.
Yeah. Oh man, I should have put in a hay mimic. Wow. Okay. So the only other thing that you find actually in the chest that had the electrum pieces is a map and a letter.
I look at them
And the
both.
letter says,
Oh, I said I look at them both.
Okay. So the letter says, as you actually recognize the handwriting, and it's the same handwriting that was on the letter in Glassstaff's office. Remember that when he had a letter from
Yeah.
the Black Spider? Same handwriting, and this letter says, "I don't expect you to use this. In fact, I will be very annoyed if you do use this. However, in the case of emergency, the map enclosed provides you with the directions to the Wave Echo Cave, where I will be for the foreseeable future. I repeat, I do not expect you to use this." And at the bottom is just the symbol of the Black Spider.
Huh. That's handy.
And you look at the map, and it does indeed. You kind of recognize it. It's a kind of a hand-drawn version of the Sword Coast map that kind of most people kind of use for around here. And it does. Let me just switch off that rain again. It's random rain. It does show in terms of where you are. Down here, on top. It actually very clearly lays out where the Wave Echo Cave can be found. Now you approximate that, given the very hilly terrain between where you are and the cave, it would probably be faster to head back up to the Tribo Trail, follow the Tribo Trail, and then cut off and head down to the cave from there. You expect that it would probably take 2, maybe 3 days.
Well, this is an interesting turn of events.
Do we have a quest for the Wave Echo Cave?
And that's the reason we're in Phandalin to begin with.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
So, yeah, no worries. So, yeah, there's been a lot going on. So, Wave Echo Cave is essentially when Gundren was telling you about why he was in the area with his brothers. They had found the location of the cave, and there is a lot of history in there. And one of the legends about the cave is that it's home to Forge of Spells. So essentially, it's an area of significant magical history. The location had been lost for a long time, which is why Gundren Rockseeker was so excited to have found it with his brothers. So yeah, the map, which, if you remember, you reacquired from Cragmaw Castle when you rescued Gundren, is the map of the interior of the cave, which Gundren had managed to get his hands on. That was what he had when you first met him in Neverwinter. So all the pieces of the puzzle are now in place. If I remember, now someone will remind me if I'm wrong on this, but when you all left Cragmaw Castle, did Gundren keep hold of the map, or did you all keep hold of the map?
Pretty sure we gave it to Gundren.
Okay, so you don't have the map of the cave itself, but you have the map to get to the.
So it sounds like we need to adjourn back to Phandalin, tag up with the Rock Seekers, make sure we're all up to snuff, and then we go get this bastard.
We could trade maps.
I think the dwarf should come with us.
Oh, yeah, more people, more party. Yeah. I like dwarves.
Okay. So, no, don't worry, there are no footsteps. Hang on. That's not someone sneaking up on you all. Okay, so from here, you could get back to Phandalin in most likely, it's not that far further along from the Wave Echo Cave. This is sort of evening now. So let's say if we were to go back to Phandalin from here, you could hit Phandalin, let's say 2 days from now, let's say 3 days from now.
We'll keep it a nice, relaxed pace.
Yeah.
Do a little sightseeing, eat at all the good restaurants.
Yeah, we've earned it.
All those famous restaurants on the Tribo Trail.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to Phandalin, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So the journey back along the Tribo Trail is uneventful, mainly because at this point you have killed all the goblins and orcs in the area.
It's just a massacre.
Good old adventurers.
And 3 days later, having had a few relaxing days, regaining your strength, working on, refilling your spell slots, just generally having a few days of not constantly having adrenaline pumping through your system, you make it back to the entrance of Phandalin, and you will look for Gundren Rockseeker, but that will be in the next session. We're going to leave that there tonight.
All right.
Because I think that's a good stopping off point there.
Yeah, I think that seems pretty keen. So, Paul.
Hello.
How would you feel about picking up another player?
I would be absolutely fine with that. Did you have someone in mind?
Is it a dwarf?
I don't know if it's a dwarf or not. We do have a friend who's got Saturdays free. We haven't asked him yet because we didn't want to be like, hey, and then come here and be like, nah, we're good. We're good with our 3. So we thought we'd ask you guys to see if you were okay with it. And if so, then we'd pitch it to him and see if he's interested.
Cool. I mean, I have no problem with that.
Ray?
Oh, I have no problem at all. Like I said, more people, more fun. As long as he's not one of those power players that Paul speaks of sometimes.
You mean like me?
No.
One thing I would ask, I mean, by all means, have a chat with them if they're up for it. Get them to just add me on Discord.
Yeah.
One thing I would suggest, just with the way I'm planning the story to go when Lost Mine ends, if your friend wouldn't mind holding off until the next kind of story segment begins.
Oh, so once we're actually done with the mine.
So once we're done with the mine, I know where the story is going to go beyond that, and that would actually sort of storytelling wise would be a good way to fit a new character in at that point.
That sounds solid.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, if they're up for it, by all means, just point them my direction on Discord, and I'll have a chat with them and see. But yeah, if you two are vouching for him, then I see no issues with that. I may. Oh, it's dramatic. I may fill him in on part of the plan going forward, just so he can kind of build a character accordingly.
And a dwarf.
Ray's fine with him coming if he plays a dwarf.
Watch her play like a dark dwarf and be like, "Oh my god!"
No, what's the?
We're just going to end up role playing Snow White, aren't we?
Something like that.
Can we?
Oh my god!
No.
Great. Now she's gonna strong arm him into playing a dwarf.
I'll write my own princess songs and everything as long as I get animal companions.
I was going to say, absolutely. Your character's going to have speak with animals.
What's the tallest playable race?
I think we can do that with Warlock Invocations.
It doesn't quite have the same sort of ring to it if you imagine Snow White as a warlock somehow.
It's hereditary for her. She absolutely was of a warlock bloodline.
Snow White's out in the forest one day. Little bluebird flies along and then she Eldritch blasts the motherfucker. Oh, you startled me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up because I can almost guarantee she could do that.
It's like, have any of you ever seen the musical version of Shrek?
No, I've heard about it, but I've never seen it.
So the opening of the second act is after you realise that Fiona is an ogre at night, and it's like the first morning after you realise that. And she's sort of like, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, the sun is shining, she's in a wonderful mood, she's in the forest, and she kind of starts getting carried away with all the animals. So she has this like singing contest with a little bluebird in a tree, and this bluebird is kind of like a puppet, which is part balloon. And as she's singing this high note, the balloon is inflated by a stagehand off stage and explodes in a little explosion of feathers. And then she has a dance with a deer and accidentally rips the antlers off the deer and sends it flying off into the wings. It's incredible. I'll find it. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube, and I will put a link in the chat because it's just hilarious. The first time you see it, you think it's inspired. Absolutely inspired. But yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, your friend is more than welcome. I was going to start kind of auditioning another player, just because 3 has worked for this, but sort of ongoing, it might be a bit light in terms of targets for me. So sorry, in terms of players at the party. But yeah, absolutely. Pop your friend in my direction, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've got an idea where the story's going to go, so I think I could find a good sort of joining point for them. terms of next session, is everyone good for 2 weeks' time?
I think we are.
I believe
Cool.
so.
That's the 12th of June.
But things seem
Yep.
to sneak up on me, so I'll definitely keep you updated.
Yeah, sure. I mean, as always, just provisional, but just so we've kind of got something to aim towards. Cool. Well, thank you all for tonight. It was fun.
Thank
I
you.
kind of wanted us to have a bit more of sort of a actiony combat session rather than sort of the role play stuff. Just because if nothing else, it's fewer notes that I have to make to make sure I don't contradict myself in future sessions. But yeah, no, I had fun tonight. I hope you all did.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it
very
was
fun.
great.
And now that I think I've kind of got the sound working better with Soundscape, I've got a setup that kind of works with everything. So I'm going to keep that going. I found a way that, because I can't remember if I told you all, I invested in just a little mini Stream Deck. So I found a way that I can put links in that for different sound effects. So, for example, I just need to press a button for an Eldritch Blast.
I heard that go off, and I was like,
I love it.
that is awesome.
And if, for example, if Serenity decides to bless someone,
I feel
or if
blessed.
anyone decides to use Cure Wounds,
Nice.
so yeah, there's lots of those. So I'll get some more of those added in, some weapon sound effects as well. So it should get a little bit smoother. But cool. Anything else from anyone else?
I think that's it, sir.
Cool. Well, thank you again for a fun evening, and I shall see you all in 2 weeks.
All right,
Sounds
thank you.
good.
Yeah.
Tell Jody we say hi, and until we see each other again, y'all be safe out there.
Adios.
Adios, señores y señoras. Take it easy.